Amusement parks in the Gilded Age expanded more than before. Dreamland was an amusement park at Coney Island in Brooklyn, New York, from 1904 to 1911. It was the last, and considered to be the grandest of the three original iconic large parks on Coney Island, the other two being Steeplechase Park and Luna Park. Colorful drama of the Wild West was closely allied with the circus of Buffalo Bill Cody's Wild West Show, which opened in 1883. For over 30 years, it enjoyed a place as one of the most popular attractions in the land, and the show entertained Europeans as well as Americans. American football during the Gilded Age was much different than now. The players didn't wear helmets and the game looked more like rugby than football. The first ever collegiate football game was played between Rutgers University and Princeton University on November 6, 1869. Rutgers won that game 6-4. Rutgers is also known as being the birthplace of college football. In terms of professional football, Walter Chauncey Camp was known as the father of American football, who created the sports line of scrimmage and downs system. The dead ball era was known to be games that were low scoring and often dominated by pitchers during the early 1890s. Because of this era, pitchers like Walter Johnson and Cy Young became two of the best pitchers of all time. In 1876, the National League of Professional Baseball Clubs, later known as the National League, was established as a subdivision of the MLB. This new league placed its emphasis on clubs rather than on the players. Teams could enforce player contracts to avoid players leaving for better-paying clubs. The first game of the National League was played on Saturday, April 22, 1876, in Philadelphia, thought to be the beginning of the MLB. James Naismith is credited with being the inventor of basketball in 1891. He wrote the original 13 rules of basketball after coming up with the game. Originally, the game consisted of throwing a soccer ball into a peach basket, but shortly after, the bottom of the basket was removed in order for the game to move along more smoothly and played easier. The first intercollegiate basketball game was played on February 9, 1895, between the host team, Hamline University, and the Minnesota State School of Agriculture in St. Paul, Minnesota. The NBA was later established in June 1946.
Ladies and gentlemen, standing at a 5'8", weighing 140 pounds, hailing in from the great nation of Ukraine, let's out Howlers! And in this corner, weighing in at 150 pounds, standing 5'8", coming from Venezuela, Mario Rodriguez! Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Fight! One, two, three. Ding, ding, ding. And the winner is Mario Rodriguez.
Queensberry rules in boxing is the element of the code of rules on which modern boxing is based on. It was the first set of rules introduced to professional and amateur boxing matches, and today they are used to reference sportsmanship and fair play. These rules made gloves mandatory in boxing. John Lawrence Sullivan, born October 15, 1858, and died February 2, 1918, is known as the Boston Strong Boy. He was an Irish-American boxer, holding the title from February of 1882 until 1892. He is also generally recognized as the last heavyweight champion of bare-knuckle boxing under the London prize ring rules.